Final preparations underway in Iowa as Governor Ron DeSantis prepares for a one-on-one with Nikki Haley, and the family of a man found dead in Orlando is speaking out as the search continues for a suspect. Next on Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
Eyewitness News this morning, live tomorrow starting at 4:30 a.m. This is Channel 9 Eyewitness News at noon. Coverage you can count on.
We are just days away from the Iowa caucuses, and now new numbers show two Republican candidates are catching up to the frontrunner, former President Donald Trump. Good afternoon. I'm Darlene Jones. We'll have more on that story in a moment, but first, let's get you caught up on the weather and that cold front that ushered in overnight. Certified meteorologist George Waldenberger is tracking it all in severe weather center 9 and a big dip overnight, George.
Yeah, and as a matter of fact, we're almost 20 degrees colder right now than we were yesterday behind the storm, but it's beautiful. A lot of sunshine. There's a few high clouds. Upper 50s. I am okay with these cool temperatures. But today we have clear weather, but this break from the weather is actually going to be short-lived. Here's what I mean. Quiet weather today. Tonight is quiet and chilly. Then tomorrow night into Friday, the storms return. They don't, at this point, look to have the same punch that the storms last night had, but we'll talk more about what we'll be watching for with Friday's storms coming up in just a bit. But quiet weather, as you can see, with this high pressure moving in behind the storm system. There's the ranges south of South Florida, and then cooler air following the system in. Very common for that to happen. And as a result, we're all in the 50s with the exception of Brevard County, only in the low 60s. Taking you hour by hour in Daytona Beach. Not a warm beach day per se, but you can see we have a lot of sunshine. And then tonight the temperatures drop quickly. A lot of people in the 40s before bedtime. So coming up, just how chilly it gets in your neighborhood by morning. Darlene?
All right, thanks, George. We are 5 days away from the Iowa caucuses, and tonight, Republican presidential candidates Ron DeSantis and Nikki Haley will face off in their first one-on-one debate. This as the frontrunner, former President Donald Trump, tries to hold on to his lead. ABC's Derek Dennis has more. Today is the second day of the legislative session here in Tallahassee. Governor Ron DeSantis used his State of the State address yesterday, comparing Florida to other states on issues like public safety and immigration enforcement.
The state of our state is strong. Let's keep doing what works. Let's continue to make Florida the envy of the nation.
Democrats then blasted the governor, saying he has focused more time on his presidential campaign than the needs of the state.
I'd like to focus on what we can do for the state of Florida, not his tired, old, stale ideas. He mentioned COVID, for crying out loud, and masks. Haven't we moved on beyond that?
This afternoon, we're pushing to see in Tallahassee about an open carry law that is being proposed. A House Republican from Southwest Florida filed a proposal yesterday. The bill would allow state lawmakers to carry concealed guns to legislative meetings and in the state capitol complex. If signed into law, the changes would take effect immediately. Meanwhile, state lawmakers are also considering two new bills to help protect the identity of crime victims here in the state. Last November, the Supreme Court ruled that a constitutional amendment known as Marsy's Law does not prevent crime victims' information from being released publicly. One bill then defines a crime victim and their rights. It includes law enforcement officers who use deadly force on the job. The second measure allows crime victims to decide if their identities should be released. This afternoon, Orlando police are still searching for whoever killed this man. There on your screen, 35-year-old Terry Rivers. He was found shot to death in the middle of downtown Orlando. Channel 9's Sam Martello reports his family is still hoping for justice. In Marion County, we have this aerial video you see here of an aerial pursuit of a man, Neil Elder. Investigators say Elder sped away from deputies when they tried to pull him over. Deputies say he was spotted driving away from the stop sign, recklessly driving in and out of traffic there in the motorcycle with a passenger on board. Deputies paused the chase, but then started it up again when they spotted him near the Silver Spring Shores area. You can see from this dash camera video, Elder was eventually arrested. Investigators say he was spotted trying to hide his motorcycle near Taylor College.
Bro, all you had to do was stop. I mean, now you got a ton of charges.
Investigators say they found fentanyl they believe may have been supplying a trafficking operation. Elder is now facing a number of charges, 8 in fact, including fleeing to elude law enforcement officers. An Orange County civil rights attorney and his daughter are back in court this afternoon. Yesterday, attorney Jerry Gurley was found guilty of violating his oath and Florida bar standards. A complaint was filed when he made comments on YouTube about a judge who overturned a 2021 verdict in one of Gurley's cases. Gurley says he is disappointed in the decision and insists he was simply exercising his free speech rights.
The judge's rulings is unfortunate, but anticipated. I have faith that in the end, justice will prevail.
Right now, attorney Gurley's daughter is on the stand. She is also being accused of violating her oath after making similar public comments about the judge in her father's 2021 case. We do have a crew there in the courtroom monitoring this case. We'll let you know what happens on Eyewitness News at 4. Happening today, drivers in parts of Central Florida may notice FDOT crews doing some work in the Orange and Volusia County areas. They are installing raised crosswalks in certain areas to try to better protect pedestrians and drivers. Channel 9's Q McRae is live there on Cimarron and Curry Ford Road, and Q, some of that work is already done.
Most of the upgrades to this intersection actually started back in the spring. The last thing to do now would be to raise the crosswalks. Now, don't think of a quick speed bump. Think more of a low table with a long incline and decline on either side of it. Now, I just got an update from FDOT via email. The work here at the intersection of Cimarron and Curry Ford is supposed to happen nightly from 9 p.m. to 6 a.m. But because of the cold weather, it says in this email, they're going to have to postpone the beginning of this work until things warm up. So we'll let you know what happens next year. But for now, that's the latest in Orlando. I'm Q McRae, Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
The toll savings program is back. The Central Florida Expressway Authority is once again offering discounts for E-Pass customers on all CFX-operated expressways. Drivers who use 40 to 79 tolls each month will automatically see a 20% discount on their monthly bill. And anyone who uses 80 or more tolls will receive a 25% discount. The savings started on January 1st, just after the state savings program came to an end. Some residents in Bithlo are finally getting a years-long water issue repaired. Coming up, the millions Orange County is pouring into the area to provide safe drinking water. And House Republicans are focused on the U.S. Homeland Security Secretary. Next, why they're now pushing for impeachment.
As one system exits, another one approaches. So next, we're going to talk about our next round of thunderstorms and just how strong this one could be.
Drone 9, only on Channel 9 Eyewitness News, getting you closer over the scene of breaking news.
Drone 9, sponsored by StrataAC.com. You ought to call Strata.
You might already know the day's headlines.
But on WFTV tonight, we give you the newest take on the day's biggest stories, showing you all sides.
So you know why it matters to you.
WFTV tonight at 11 on Channel 9.
Right now, the U.S. Homeland Security Secretary is facing possible impeachment. He's accused of implementing policies that have caused and perpetuated what House Republicans are calling an immigration crisis. Our Washington correspondent Kirsten Garris is on Capitol Hill this afternoon to break down today's hearing. A new study takes aim at Florida's tax system. According to the Institute on Taxation and Economic Policy, the lowest earning workers spend 13% of their earnings on taxes. Middle class employees spend 10% and the wealthiest spend just 3%. The analyst called on politicians to adjust the state's tax code to give low and middle class earners a break.
Our tax system is upside down, and despite our reputation, it's low-income people who are families with low income who are spending more on state and local taxes.
The study claims state income tax would help even the making all workers spend between 10 and 12% on taxes. The community of Bithlo will get some relief with its water system. Orange County will spend $12 million connecting more than 300 homes there to its water system. It is the first of 3 phases to get the entire community off of well water. Some Bithlo residents say their wells are contaminated and the water simply isn't safe for use.
It's 2024. You should not be having subpar water like we're in a third world country.
The second and third phases of the project will allow crews to add pipes east and then north across State Road 50. It will take a number of years to complete. Happening today, a piece of Orlando history will return to its original location in the Milk District. Right now, crews are placing the spire, back on the plaza live. The iconic item was removed last August as part of a restoration project. The lighting, mechanics, and chrome finish will look brand new when city leaders turn it on tonight at 5:30. Covering our Space Coast this afternoon, a major milestone for NASA is now delayed by nearly a year. Artemis 2 will not lift off now until at least September of 2025. It was scheduled to lift off this November. NASA leaders say they need more time to address crew safety. Engineers are taking a closer look at the Orion spacecraft's heat shield. They're also troubleshooting an issue with the life support system.
When it comes to the human missions and even the robotic missions, it's better to delay it than to rush into failure and disaster.
NASA also pushed Artemis 3 to September of 2026. They say the delay will allow SpaceX more time to develop its Starship human landing system for the moon. It will also give Axiom Space more time to design its next generation spacesuits. A robotics company says there is no chance its lunar lander will safely land on the moon. Astrobotics says the Peregrine lander suffered a critical propellant loss after Monday's launch of the Vulcan Centaur rocket. The lander will run out of propellant by tomorrow. Company engineers say they are looking for new ways to use the lander. And certified meteorologist Georgia Waldenberger here now, and stepping outside this morning, you could feel the difference.
Yeah, so yesterday some areas hit 80. All right, this morning into the 40s. All right, and if you're in Ocala, it's 21 degrees colder than yesterday at this time. But you know, I'm not mad about this.
No, I'll take it. It'll be hot before you know it.
Before you know it. Actually, by Friday, we're already returning to the 80-degree mark. But just look at how beautiful it is with that drier air. Beautiful blue sky. Temperatures are in the 50s to low 60s in Brevard County. Looking ahead, it's sunny and cool today, and then tonight looks to be the coolest of the week. So if you want to put on your heavier sweatshirt, or maybe you got a coat for Christmas, tomorrow morning will be the time to put it on. And then a stray shower begins developing tomorrow afternoon, and this will be the beginning of our next system that's already brewing. Here's what I mean. Yesterday's front has already pushed out. We're enjoying the cooler, drier, and of course calmer weather behind it. There's our next system over the west coast. You can see a lot of snow with it. It'll loop our direction quickly, but this one is going to be different from the one that hit us yesterday. A lot of that energy will be farther to the north. So this is a look at where the strongest storms will likely form with that system on Friday. You can see they're bullseyed a little bit farther north than yesterday's storms are. So that's better for us here in Florida, at least. I don't want to wish severe weather on anyone, though. But as far as we're talking about for Central Florida, there's an outside risk for a strong storm come Friday and Friday night. But they don't look to be as widespread as what we had last night, with the main risks maybe an isolated severe thunderstorm with strong winds, and of course we'll be watching that lightning risk on Friday into Friday night as well. So go ahead, download the WFTV weather app. Some of the most useful tools during these storms are the live radar, so you can track where the heavy rains are falling, and also getting those alerts right to your smartphone if it's a tornado warning, severe thunderstorm warning, or what it would be. But today it's cool, and by bedtime we're already into the low 50s, some areas upper 40s by bedtime. And then you can see we're cooler, actually not as cool here in Cocoa Beach. Again, nice and cool today. Here's your 7-day forecast. The weekend always in view. I have 47 tomorrow morning in Orlando, so it's going to be a chilly morning. Tomorrow, a few stray showers, but the higher rain chances Thursday night through Friday. We'll time that out coming up, and you can see cooler weather for the weekend. Darlene?
All right, thanks a lot, George. Millions of travelers are stranded across the country as severe weather continues to sweep across the area. After the break, we're headed to Orlando International Airport for an update on the cancellations and delays there. And robocalls are an ongoing problem. What lawmakers are doing right now to address the issue.
This Tower Cam shot, sponsored by Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
The Federal Trade Commission received more than 2 million complaints about robocalls just last year. Our Washington correspondent Samantha Manning explains how you can avoid becoming a victim of robocall scams. Some big changes are coming to Walt Disney World. Coming up, the restrictions that have now ended for annual pass holders, plus how powerful winter storms are impacting more than 1 million Americans.
Watch Eyewitness News from any device with Eyewitness News Livestream, sponsored by Boeing Munz & Munz. Choose results. Choose Boeing Munz & Munz.
Extreme weather blasting much of the country, leaving travelers stranded at airports. Take a look here. Okay, we were spared for sure. They are really getting hit up there. Certified meteorologist George Waldenberger is in Severe Weather Center 9. And George, we did have our own severe weather here yesterday, but wow, they are really getting pounded.
Yeah, we were fortunate. Although our storms that rolled through here, they were rotating. We had tornado warnings, and we were on top of this. We wanted to make sure everybody knew as those storms with the potential for funnel clouds and tornadoes rolled through yesterday. The winds were strong, and today it's much quieter and cooler. Low 60s, Cocoa Beach. We have a lot of sunshine today. The winds, do you remember how windy it was yesterday before the storms arrived? The winds were gusting 40 miles per hour or stronger. Now they're blowing, but not nearly as strong, and it's kind of a cool northwest to west wind. So not as windy for outdoor workers today, but there's still a breeze if you're trying to clean up those yards. Lots of leaves that just keep falling, right? Hour by hour, Celebration will stay sunny and cool this afternoon. This evening, also mostly clear and into the 50s. This is what I want to show you about the coolest weather of the week tonight. Low 40s tomorrow morning in Marion County, mid 40s the Villages, mid to upper 40s Orlando, low 50s Brevard County. But then a quick warm up, more storms. I want to time out that rain by the end of the work week for Friday, coming up hour by hour. Darlene?
All right, thanks, George. And that severe weather we experienced here yesterday, combined with that winter storm, caused cancellations and delays at Orlando International Airport. The wind even prompted a ground stop. Channel 9's Q McCrae shows us where things stand this afternoon. Speaking of flying, this afternoon, the CEO of Boeing is acknowledging mistakes that put passengers in danger. It comes after the mid-air scare last week on an Alaska Airlines flight. A door plug flew off that plane while 16,000 feet in the air. Boeing says it's now working with the National Transportation Safety Board to prevent future issues. A mother and son who were sitting right behind that door plug when it flew off, they are now speaking about their experience.
I reached over and held his hands, and we literally thought that we were going to die.
You just hear a big boom. It was silent for like 1 second, and then you would just feel and hear a lot of air going around, freezing cold air.
Boeing says it's revising final inspection protocols for 171 grounded MAX 9 jets that have the same door plugs. There is good news this afternoon for Disney annual pass holders. You no longer have to wait until after 2 p.m. to use the park hopper option. And starting tomorrow, Disney will start what they're calling good to go days, meaning annual pass holders can visit the parks on certain days without a reservation. And Disney is sharing new details about a classic attraction. A new version of the Country Bear Jamboree is set to open at Magic Kingdom this summer. Disney shared this video yesterday of musicians recording new songs for the show. This time, the famous bears will sing Disney songs with a country twist. The current version of the attraction will close on January 27th. The U.S. is proving to have less pollution in the air. Coming up, we're learning what's leading to the cleaner air. And if you have this popular massage gun, you are eligible for a refund. Next, why consumer experts have replaced it on a recall list.
At the heart of journalism is investigation.
9 Investigates is the tool that our community has to get answers.
Our reporting shines a light on things that people would like to sweep underneath the rug.
How do you explain that?
There is a huge team of passionate journalists putting together these stories.
We stay on top of people who we need to get answers from.
Jeff Deal with Channel 9.
We're here to make sure that you're not ignored.
We're going to tell it to you straight.
It's not a slogan, but it's a passion.
A popular massage gun is being recalled this afternoon. HomeMedic says its personal massager guns, like what you see here, could overheat while charging. The company has recalled about 87,000 of the products. It's received 17 reports so far. One of them included a thumb burn. Anyone who bought a HomeMedic's massager between 2020 and 2023 is asked to stop using it and charging it and contact HomeMedics for a refund. Tropicana is releasing limited edition bottles that have the letters A and I removed from its name. The company wants to highlight the natural ingredients used in its drinks. They plan to hide hundreds of bottles in Kroger grocery stores across the country. If you're driving around in a Ford, the automaker has announced a major recall. Next, the safety issue that could cause the engines to suddenly stall.
So we're quiet right now, but I'm already tracking that next storm system. So next we're going to compare it, how it's different from yesterday's storm system for Friday, and also time out the rain for you for the end of the week, hour by hour.
Closed captioning ensures all viewers have access to our programming here on Channel 9 and provides a critical link by delivering important local coverage with stories that impact our community. Closed captioning on WFTV is sponsored by Farah and Farah.
In today's local steals and deals, Shannon Lanier shows us a new phone accessory that can enhance the videos recorded on your cell phone. If you have a Ford vehicle, you may need to make an appointment with your dealer soon. The automaker is recalling nearly 140,000 vehicles. It impacts Focus and EcoSport vehicles. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration found that a faulty oil pump component could lead the engine to suddenly stalling. A failure could also result in the loss of power brakes. The recall applies to 2016 to 2018 Focus and 2018 to 2022 EcoSport models. A new study shows the country was actually a little bit cleaner last year. The nonpartisan Rhodium Group reported a 2% drop in planet warming pollution. The group said retiring some dirty coal-fired power plants largely contributed to the falling of emissions. U.S. pollution is now at its lowest level since 1991. It is a cool day out there. I tell you, I was fooled. I knew it. I heard it. I heard you talking about it yesterday with Tom Terry, but I still stepped out with no jacket on, and that wind caught me by surprise.
Yeah, these quick drops in temperatures, they can take you off guard, even if you know exactly what's coming. When you feel it, that's when it's really true, right?
Yes. My daddy used to say that hawk gonna get you when you go outside.
Oh, it does, but guess what? That nice cool air does as well, in a good way. All right, check it out. Not the best day to go to the beach, plus a lot of us are working. However, these are nice days to just go and sit at the beach because they're quiet, not a lot of people there. Don't have to go in the water, and you can just enjoy the nice view. Upper 50s, now we're 60 in Polk County, so a little bit warmer this afternoon after yesterday's rainfall. And again, it really depended where you were located, but Marion and Flagler counties got the most rain tomorrow, some spots 1 to 2 inches. In and around the metro, there were a few 1-inch bullseyes, 1-inch plus bullseyes, but most areas less than that. And then the storms kind of weakened as they moved into Brevard County. Some areas that actually missed out on the rain, but most areas got at least a little beneficial rain. And thankfully, with all the warnings we had, we didn't have more damage, and I'm thankful for that. But we're already getting ready for that next system. It's quiet right now, and the next system will move in from the northwest. This one will be a little farther to the north, the storm energy, so the chance of strong storms isn't as strong on Friday. I don't want to say they're not going to happen in your neighborhood because there will be some risk, but the chance of widespread storms is much lower for Friday than what we had last night. As we time things out, though, a lot of sunshine today. Tomorrow, the clouds thicken in the morning. Tomorrow's going to be one of those days where you go outside, you see the clouds, and you say, oh, is it going to rain? Maybe I need my umbrella. Well, honestly, through the day tomorrow, very few areas will get any rain. It's tomorrow evening that we have a little higher chance for a passing shower, and even then it would be light. This is ahead of that next system. Then overnight into Friday morning, so tomorrow night and Friday morning, even when you're sleeping, a few passing showers and thunderstorms will be possible, but this won't be the main event. So realize that Friday morning as you're driving to work, a few showers and maybe even a thunderstorm on some of the roadways. And then Friday's kind of an unsettled day. It'll be warm, but then Friday afternoon, evening, and overnight, this is when we have to watch for that next round of showers and storms. Compared to yesterday, it's more isolated, and the main risks look to be strong pockets of wind and lightning. So again, it's not looking to pack the same punch as yesterday, but I still want you to know that an isolated strong storm is still possible in each neighborhood. Your 7-day forecast the weekend always in view. Chilly tomorrow morning. We're back to 80 on Friday. Remember, this is the unsettled day with storms possible afternoon and evening. Then much cooler weather for your weekend, Darlene.
Some excitement is building for Star Wars fans. Still to come this afternoon. What's coming for the popular Disney Plus series? Ahead.
Hey, Darlene, it is good to see you. Coming up on GMA3, surveying the damage from that deadly cross-country storm, and now the new one that's on the way.
Plus, the fascinating backstory to a high-profile drama unfolding in court right now. Our team breaks down the stakes in the ASAP Rocky case.
Super savings on products making your wellness a top priority this year. Tori Johnson unveils those in today's Deals and Steals.
Plus, star Lamorne Morris pulls back the curtain on the new season of Fargo. It's all coming up right after Eyewitness News.
We'll see you then.
Tonight's primetime lineup on WFTV is brought to you by your local Southeast Toyota dealers.
Here's a look at some of the stories we're working on for Eyewitness News at 4. An Orange County civil rights attorney and his daughter are back in court this afternoon. Attorney Jerry Gurley was found guilty of violating his oath in Florida bar standards. Right now, his daughter is now on the stand, accused of violating her oath. We'll let you know what happens in court on Eyewitness News at 4. Also today, the change to the disorderly conduct ordinance in Orlando is already having some impacts. At 4, how the new rules for people on sidewalks could prove successful. And stocks are up so far on Wall Street this afternoon. Here is a look at the numbers right now. We'll have the closing figures later today on Eyewitness News at 4.
It's a privilege to be Central Florida's chief meteorologist. It's something that I take internally. I've spent the last half of my life doing this every day in Central Florida. We pool all of our resources here in Severe Weather Center 9 to give you the latest advanced warning so you can take those early steps to keep your family safe. You have to build that trust over the years, and that's what I always strive for every day. Keep building trust. I try to get every day right, and I won't stop. I'm here to keep you safe.
If you like Star Wars, the popular Disney Plus series, The Mandalorian, is turning into a movie. It will be directed by Jon Favreau, who also directed the popular hits Iron Man and The Jungle Book. The film is set to go into production this year. And if you are home, that's probably the best place to be right now because it is cold out there.
Yeah, it's nice and cool, and tonight is going to be even cooler. So just a heads up, obviously Marion County, we normally see the coldest overnight low temperatures. Tonight will be no exception, low 40s for overnight and tomorrow morning temperatures. And then just the heads up, there's another chance of storms on Friday. The severe weather doesn't look to be nearly as widespread as last night, but coming up tonight at 4 o'clock, Tom Terry will update the chance that we do have at least of an isolated strong storm Friday.
All right. Well, thanks, George, and thank you for watching Eyewitness News at noon. I'll see you back here at 4 with Greg. GMA3, what you need to know is next. For updates between newscasts, check WFTV.com.